News 4 San Antonio at 10. We're here for you.
Glad you're with us tonight, friends. I'm Jonathan Martinez.
I'm Mandy Noel. Tonight, we're bringing you election results from all the major races in our viewing area and across Texas. You can also check out results at the bottom of your screen and all the races, including the small ones, at news4sa.com.
And we do have live team coverage of tonight's primary election. News 4 has a network of reporters across the state covering all of the angles for you.
We start with the biggest race in Bexar County, that for Bexar County Judge.
And News 4, the first station to bring you the results live, and the first to bring you former Mayor Ron Nirenberg live right as he won. Nirenberg easily edging out incumbent Peter Sakai. The final results, you're looking at them right there. 62% of the votes for Nirenberg compared to 38 for Peter Sakai.
News 4 San Antonio's Taylor Whartonby is live at Nirenberg's watch party. What's the scene there, Taylor?
Yeah, so Ron Nirenberg declared victory around 8:30 this afternoon. He went on stage to first thank Peter Sakai for his service in the community. Now we're joined with Ron. Ron, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling tremendous anticipation for the work that's ahead. We obviously are grateful, super grateful for a community that continues to care enough to show up at the polls in record numbers today, that has ambition and aspirations for our future. There's another campaign we've got to run to get through November, but I am ready to get to work on behalf of the community.
And what's that look like? What's your priority starting off?
Yeah, there's several. I mean, unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of choosing just one thing, but we've got a criminal justice system that needs significant repair in terms of the backlog of cases and the jail overcrowding issues and making sure that law enforcement has the tools that they need. We've also got issues in our healthcare ecosystem to ensure that we're closing the gap on healthcare access, not seeing it widen despite all the resources that we have here. This is one of the fastest growing communities in the country. The region is transforming. We've got to get ahead of that growth and make sure that there's infrastructure and services for thriving communities. So there's a lot to tackle, but we have all the talent here and resources to do just that.
Amazing. Is there anything else that you want to say to the public while you have the chance?
Well, first of all, go Spurs go. Big win today. We're ready for the playoffs. But we're also just grateful for each and every one of you who've had conversations with our neighbors that continues to hope and expect better for our community. We're getting ready to go into the next phase of this campaign, but we're ready to get to work for you.
Ron, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
We're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, Taylor, thank you for that. Let's go ahead and continue our team coverage tonight. News 4 San Antonio's Ethan Trejo joins us live from La Fonda and Alamo Heights from Judge Peter Sakai's watch party. Ethan.
Well, Jonathan, Mandy, obviously not the results they were hoping for here at Sakai HQ. You can see right here behind me, pretty much all of the supporters have emptied out of the area that we had. This, if you can imagine this was full of supporters. Judge Sakai tried to rally his supporters a little bit earlier, telling them it's not over until it's over. And around 9:15, Judge Sakai did announce that he was going to be viewing the rest of the election in the privacy of his home with his family. That's all the latest updates that we have as of now. We'll bring you any more as soon as we get them.
All right, Ethan, thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and move on to the U.S. Senate. As we understand, there is going to be a runoff with Cornyn and Paxton. Let's go ahead and listen in as Paxton is about to speak in just a couple of moments.
There you can see he's taken the stage. So NBC News called this a little while ago that it is going to go to a runoff for the Republican primary seat between incumbent John Cornyn and AG Ken Paxton. Looks like he's about to speak. Let's listen in.
Well, you know, John Cornyn said he was concerned about a bunch of radicals who were going to show up to vote today. It looks like you all showed up. I want to start by thanking my kids, my grandchildren for their constant love and support. I think I speak for every parent and grandparent in this room when I say this. Our children and their future are what we are fighting for every single day. For us, this is about saving America for the next generation. I want to take a moment to thank you all and every supporter across the state who has taken the time to volunteer, to vote, to get involved in this critical fight. And thank you to the Paxton Patriots for dedicating your time and your resources to support this effort and help us get our message out all across Texas.
Yeah, baby!
Together with your support, we just sent a message loud and clear to Washington. We are not going to go quietly, and we are not going to let you buy the seat. No way. I want to tell you the last time I felt this kind of energy in one room, I was actually at Mar-a-Lago when President Trump announced he was running again in 2024. I don't know if you remember, but it was right after the midterms and everyone was turning on the president. The establishment, the media, and most Republican elected officials in America were lining up against him. Not me. I was proud to fly to Mar-a-Lago and be one of the only elected officials in America, along with my good friend Congressman Troy Nehls, who stood with the president the night he announced his campaign. Troy and I, along with everyone else there, knew something special was happening that night. And we were right. Right now, I feel that same momentum, the same sense that history is turning. Now let's talk about what happened, what just happened. John Cornyn spent around $100 million trying to buy this seat. Yeah, baby. We spent around $5 million. It was confirmed today that he received the most ad support for an incumbent in a single primary in U.S. history. Wow. But we proved something they'll never understand in Washington. Texas is not for sale. As votes continue to be counted, it looks like we're headed to a runoff, and that's because of you. The people of Texas made your voices heard. After all the personal attacks, which there were many, and after all the lies, you listened to what John Cornyn was selling, and you weren't buying it. Yeah. Nearly 60% of Texas voters who have known Cornyn for over 40 years, after hearing $100 million worth of ads, chose to vote against the incumbent. That's historic. Yes. Tonight, change was on the ballot, and change won. Texans want new leadership. They want someone with a proven record of fighting and winning for them. And that's exactly what I'm going to deliver. Because for too long, John Cornyn has turned his back on us. For too long, he attacked the border wall by calling it naive and pushed amnesty while our country was being invaded. For too long, he stabbed our president in the back by trying to derail his presidential campaigns and supporting the Democrats' lawfare against the president. And for too long, he sold us out to Democrats, even siding with Joe Biden to push the worst gun control bill in decades. Those days are coming to an end. And now, as we head into this runoff, we're going to make the choice even clearer. While John Cornyn was cutting deals on gun control and amnesty, I was suing corrupt Joe Biden over 107 times. 107 times. And we didn't just file lawsuits, we won massive victories for our freedoms, for our border security, and for our Constitution. That's the contrast. When he compromised, we fought. It's not about personal attacks, it's about what your record of delivering for the people of Texas is. And on that front, John Cornyn has failed us time and time again. I've traveled the state asking one simple question. I've done this since day one, every group I've been in front of. In his over 40 years of office, you cannot name one single accomplishment that he's done to help the state of Texas. 40 years. And without fail, everywhere I go, no one has an answer. No one can name that accomplishment. The people of Texas deserve better. That's the message we're taking into the runoff. I think you all might remember the last time a U.S. Senate race went to a runoff in Texas. It was 2012. A political outsider, not well known at the time, by the name of Ted Cruz, took on the establishment giant. No one said he could do it. And after getting second place in the initial primary, patriotic Texans showed up in the runoff. And you know what happened? Ted, some smart people in the audience. Ted Cruz performed over 22 points better and won the runoff in a resounding victory. The same thing is going to happen here.
And you were listening to Kid Paxton there, who is headed to a runoff. That's going to be in May against John Cornyn. Interesting to note in this one, though, so far, President Trump has not endorsed a single candidate, even though President Trump was here in Corpus Christi with those candidates just a couple of days ago. So we will certainly be watching that one. We do want to move on to another high-profile race. Of course, this is going to be for Congressional District number 23. Incumbent Tony Gonzalez is trying to hold on.
Yes, incumbent Tony Gonzalez trying to stave off Brandon Herrera to represent Republicans in the November election. It's a rematch with Gonzalez struggling in the last few weeks after all of the information coming out about an alleged affair he had with a staffer who died by suicide.
Let's go to get out to News 4 San Antonio's Jay Avila, who continues our team coverage right now with how that scandal could impact tonight's results and beyond. Jay.
Well, unlike many of the other candidates tonight, Gonzalez did not hold a public event. He appears to have been watching the results come in privately, a low-profile strategy that so far has not hurt him at the polls.
Gonzalez ran against challenger Brandon Herrera, whom he narrowly defeated in 2024, and two other candidates, Kiko Canseco and Keith Barton. But the race has been overshadowed by Gonzalez's relationship with a staffer, Regina Santos Aviles, who died by suicide by setting herself on fire last September. Aviles's estranged husband shared text messages, some of a sexual nature, between Gonzalez and his wife. The three-term congressman entered the night knowing even if he won the primary or a runoff, he would still face an ethics investigation in the House.
They can show up on Congress and take votes, but obviously there's kind of a cloud that hangs over them until the thing is resolved, and this kind of thing doesn't resolve itself quickly.
There will be consequences in the general election, I think, that will be more significant, not only to him, but to the party he purportedly represents.
Tuesday, Gonzalez sent out an Election Day message that didn't mention the controversy. With an area that's larger than 30 states and a border that stretches more than 800 miles, our district is more than just a mass of land, it's God's country. And whoever serves you in this seat has a great responsibility to fight and work for every inch of it.
The 23rd District is critical for Republicans who hold a very narrow majority in the House. Gonzalez has called the allegations of an affair personal smears and untruthful rumors. For the News 4i team, I'm Jay Avila.
Jay, thanks. Now, his challenger, Brandon Herrera, fell just over 400 votes short of ousting Gonzalez 2 years ago. News 4 San Antonio's Yami Verheen joins us live from Herrera's watch party in Bernie. Yami, continue our team coverage.
Good evening. We are here with Brandon Herrera, and let's get right to you because you are here doing an interview. Talk to us about tomorrow. You're moving on. Right now, it looks like you will. What are you going to do tomorrow morning?
We're going to go back to doing the exact same thing we've always done across District 23, which is, in my opinion, the bare minimum, showing up to each one of the counties out in the district. We've done an event, a public town hall and Q&A in every single county across District 23. Tony, meanwhile, has been hiding in a basement somewhere. He's never done a public debate, never done a public town hall. I feel like you can't even pretend to represent a district if you're not willing to go out and talk to the people and take their questions. So tomorrow we're going to go right back out on the road and do the same thing we've always done, which is talk to the people and represent the grassroots voice of conservative West Texas. How important is the veterans vote? You know, the soldiers that are here and in El Paso. The district goes all the way to El Paso. Oh, yeah. It's incredibly important. I mean, this is one of the biggest veteran districts in the entire country. We have Fort Sam Houston, San Antonio, Military City, USA. You've got Fort Bliss. You've got Del Rio. All these different places are critically important. And on top of that, you have a lot of retired veterans across the district, especially in the rural areas, that aren't getting the care that they deserve, the care that they were promised when they signed on the dotted line to protect this country. It's one of the things we're looking forward to. Thank you so much, Brandon Herrera. And of course, we're still watching the numbers. He has the cell phone out. And, you know, we have to wait and see. Many districts still are waiting to turn in their ballots, especially in El Paso. Reporting from Bernie, Yami Virgen, News 4 San Antonio. Okay, another huge race we're covering for you tonight, the race for U.S. Senate. We heard from Paxton moments ago. This is the top race people are watching in the country right now. It's seen nearly $130 million in advertising. The seat
currently held by Republican John Cornyn. Cornyn being challenged by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton.
And as mentioned before, this race will be heading to a runoff that'll take place in May. But here's a look at the results as you're following along right now. Cornyn with 43% of the vote, just roughly about under 30,000 ahead. Votes are still being counted tonight, but again, this one's going to be going to a runoff come May. Now, we do want to get out to Vinny Motorano right now. He's covering John Cornyn's campaign. He joins us live with more. Hey, Vinny.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, moments ago we just heard from Senator Cornyn here speaking at this podium saying and announcing that this is likely moving to a runoff as soon as the rest of the votes come in tonight. And throughout his message to the media that was here today, he had some choice words for who is likely going to be his challenger in this coming runoff. And he says, I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build. He also says that Judgment Day is coming for Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton here in the next 12 weeks as they move forward with this runoff election. Now, we last checked the numbers. Cornyn's up a little bit in this race, sitting around 43% of the votes, but obviously that wasn't enough to offset this runoff, and this looks like it could be getting a little fun here down the stretch as we move forward towards this runoff election. Now, Cornyn said before this race, this was going to, or likely, be one of the most difficult primary elections he's been a part of, one of the most competitive races he's been a part of, and that's exactly the way this is shaping out to be. Back to you guys.
I like that we described that as a little fun. We turn now to the Democratic race for U.S. Senate. These are the results so far. You can see 65% of the votes are in. It's very close here. Right now, James Talarico up 52% over Jasmine Crockett. News 4 San Antonio's Destiny Fuller is covering Jasmine Crockett's campaign. There's been a big controversy in Dallas tonight. Destiny, continue our live team coverage from there in Dallas for us.
Yeah, Mandy, Jonathan, if you were here with us about an hour ago, you would have noticed that this floor was full. I wouldn't have even had this much room to stand. An hour ago is about when the polls closed, and that's when Jasmine Crockett came here. And the reason for that late start is because of an emergency order extending voting hours because of a mass confusion about where people were supposed to go to cast their ballots. Now, Jasmine Crockett got on the stage just around 9 o'clock telling us that the Supreme Court overruled that emergency order, saying that votes that came in after 9 could not be counted, but she doesn't believe that she is in a fair fight. Now, as you know, she is still in that fight for the U.S. Senate seat against James Talarico, and she's looking for that nomination. Earlier today, a county judge approved the emergency order, extending it by 2 hours, and she said that she didn't think that this was a fair fight. Now, we saw the room full this evening. Many voters said that they would support Crockett no matter what the outcome was, but Crockett just says that she doesn't think that there will be election results that will be accurate tonight.
The Supreme Court, just a few minutes ago, just said shut it down. The Supreme Court also said that they are to separate any votes out that came in after 7 p.m. So here's it. I have no idea how it is that clerks are going to know who was in line by what time.
Again, she does not believe that the election results will be valid tonight, saying that a loss in Dallas County will be questionable at this point. We're not sure what's going to happen. And even then, with her giving that announcement, you heard an audible reaction from the crowd. Some of those people that we spoke to say that no matter what the results are, they're going to support Jasmine Crockett in this race. We'll just have to wait to see what's going to happen. Live in Dallas, Destiny Fuller, News 4 San Antonio.
Crockett's challenger to run against either Paxton or Cornyn in November is State Rep James Talarico.
Talarico gaining national attention following his interview that was pulled from The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. We're told that it drew more than 85 million views online. We do want to take a look at the latest numbers in this particular race right now, as we do understand it is going to be too close to call. There's a look at it as we just showed you. James Talarico up by roughly about 60,000 votes, or a little more than 60,000. But again, there were issues with voting there in Dallas County, extending the voting polling hours there. That is, again, something that we're going to be following throughout the rest of the night. Let's go ahead and move on. A rare state representative opening, the people wanting to be elected to serve a district that covers part of our viewing area. We'll have the latest on this one.
And chances for showers and thunderstorms in the days ahead. Big impacts for your weekend. A close look at this forecast coming up.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Welcome back this primary election night. Here's another look at the U.S. Senate race on the Democratic side. James Talarico is up over Jasmine Crockett, 52% to 47%.
And a lot of problems up in Dallas. Andrew Lamparski is covering Talarico tonight. He continues our live team coverage now from Austin. Andrew?
Yeah, the word tonight here at the Talarico campaign has been confident. There's a full room of Talarico supporters here behind me who have been cheering as they watch the results pour in, but I can tell you it's been a little bit quieter since this debacle in Dallas has begun. Now, whatever happens tonight, this rounds out what has been a whirlwind campaign for Talarico. He's been all over the state in the last couple of weeks here, traveling from El Paso to Lubbock to East Texas and wrapping up right here at home for him in Central Texas. Talarico rounded out his tour in Round Rock this afternoon, making a stop in his hometown to greet supporters. What we've heard from those supporters today is they see Talarico as the stronger candidate on education and anti-corruption.
And if it's not James, it will be James in the future.
Now, as these results come in, we've heard a lot of cheers again as those numbers seem to be moving in his favor. But again, it has quieted down in the last little while. I can tell you they've taken the results off this screen up here, but they have set up for what looks like to be a speech from Talarico within the last hour. No word yet on when that could be. For now, reporting live in Austin, Andrew Lamparski.